And sets another day. Billions will kneel and pray. Anything to aid escape from the world so cold and gray.
That's a good bird.
Well, hello there.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to another episode of Bones and Toes.
It's another strange period of time. It feels like it's been forever.
It does, but it hasn't. There's been no time at all. So yeah, we're here today. Let's see. I mean, not much going on in the news here recently, other than Michael Flynn being forced to step down. But
just coups and counter coups.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think this is all just they're trying to the people who don't like Trump are trying to trim the fat, and they're trying to flex them muscles, them security agent muscles.
I like to think it's just one giant fucking episode of Spy versus Spy.
Oh, definitely, most definitely,
white versus black.
Like, I don't think they actually even like. These agencies like hate other agencies from different countries too. I think it's just like it's like a well played chess game to them. Except some don't fuck around though. I mean, think about it. Like, you gotta imagine that everyone thinks that the security agencies in like Iran and North Korea are gigantic dicks.
Yeah,
because all they do is capture people.
Right. Shove up. Maybe. I wonder if they still use bamboo shoots.
Oh, you know they do.
To extract information.
You know they do.
Take one of the. I know we put in that bamboo flooring in my house and. You'd be sliding your hand down, carelessly down one of those boards. You get just a thin sliver of bamboo shoots into your hand. You can't get it out.
No.
It's like metal.
It's terrible.
I can only imagine if it was just a little bit bigger and they purposely put one in my fingernail. I'll say whatever you want me to say.
Exactly. I mean, they gave us all kinds of shit for waterboarding. Like, fuck.
Yeah. Shove a bamboo shoot in your fucking body and tell me that's not torture.
Well,
Who knows?
We've evolved. These days, torture is just like, I wouldn't say it's not torture, but it's like implied torture. Right. You know what I mean? Versus like back in the day where like they'd fucking flay you. Literally cut your skin off.
Yeah. Or
fucking shove a metal pear up your ass and make it open.
Yeah.
Like a flower.
Flowering in your anus.
They did that to your anus and your mouth.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't have made enemies.
Or thumb screws, for that matter.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, there was all sorts of shit they had at their disposal back in the day.
I don't know if you've ever seen Blacklist. That's a pretty good show on Netflix.
I haven't got to watch it yet.
You should check it out. It just shows you that there are people out there that are like unassuming and they take on these roles for a lot of money. There's like one guy that's the king of getting information. And he looks like a fat, middle-aged IT guy. He's always in the back room. I forget what they call him. But when he leaves the room, he's always like, I need 2 bottles of water. And you look inside and he's got an ostrich in there and the guy's like, he always calls him for the most extreme cases and he always produces.
Or like, think about like, the fucking marathon man shit. Where like fucking, the old Nazi just goes in there and fucking finds any little cavities you might have and fucking just rams metal rods into it.
Yeah. Just testing nerve endings.
Ouch. So yeah, I mean, not much in the news this week, so current events is kind of meh. I mean, it's like, I just don't feel like talking about the same shit. I'm like, well, this celebrity said this about Trump, or Trump said that. I don't give a shit anymore.
I hate to keep having to repeat how little of a fuck I give.
Yeah, about any of it anymore. I really don't. Like, I just don't fucking care.
Send me a fucking $100,000, you know, Meryl Streep. Send me $100,000, and then I will feel personally and emotionally tied to your cause.
Yeah.
Until then, shut the fuck up.
Ball's in your court now, Meryl.
Right, we're waiting on you. I'm going to apologize, first of all, for the... I know I sound like a raspy lesbian most of the time anyway, but it's worse today. I woke up with like a troop of enemy soldiers that have gathered in my sinus cavity in my throat.
I've been having that last couple of days too. I think it's just the weather.
It's probably this punk ass, or I should say fake ass February.
Yeah.
Hashtag fake ass February.
This is a weird February. It's been a weird winter.
Yeah.
Altogether. Warm. Like, fuck. It's supposed to be like in the 60s this week. It's not even March yet.
I'll tell you, I got out of the car yesterday and I'm like, oh, it's 53. I don't need to wear my jacket. Overalls. I got out there in that 45 mile an hour wind.
Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. You needed it.
It's over with.
But yeah, so, since there's not much in the news and nothing that I really give a shit about anyways, you know, I went and saw Lego Batman last night.
Yeah.
It was a good time. It was funny. It was a kid's movie. You know, son loved it.
Did they have any, like, hidden adult theme jokes?
Oh, of course they did. There's a couple. Like, well, there was one where Batman's talking to Dick Grayson, who would be Robin, and he's talking to him. He's like, "My name's Richard Grayson, but everybody at the orphanage calls me Dick." And he's like, "Kids can be so cruel." I mean, there was a couple like that in there. Not too many, though. But, yeah, I mean, well, there is that dam in California.
Yeah.
And I've been loving the memes coming out of that. I mean, I hate the meme. Okay, here's the thing. I want to laugh just because, like, you know, California's been talking heavy about seceding and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But then this happens and they're crying for federal aid. So
it just goes to show. I shared a meme last night that said something like, here they are, the government will come in with FEMA to tell you how much the government's needed in this situation when the government was probably the one that caused the problem in the first place.
Exactly. Well, I was seeing something just like that where they said that they were warned 12 years ago that something like this was going to happen.
Yeah.
So you have that. But at the same time, I feel bad because, you know, like, I don't like joking about something like that because people are losing their homes.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, even if they are, like, you know, Californians, they're still Americans, at least at this point.
I'm going to take a Old Testament religious stance on this and say that it's only because California cursed Israel.
Could be.
Maybe. I mean, how else did it happen? Was it mechanical failure?
I was going to say poor engineering.
Could be.
Sloppy engineering.
These are all options.
Yeah. Anything else? I mean, there's not much else going on. You know, Kim Jong Un's brother got killed
By Kim Jong Un?
By Kim Jong Un. Let's not split hairs on that one. We all know who it was.
Listen, if you are related to a god king, don't make him mad.
No, in fact, I would go get away from him as far as I could. I would have defected if I was that dude.
I just heard yesterday that in North Korea, in the barbershops, they're only allowed to have 5 haircuts that they can choose
So
from.
there's like 5 different haircuts you'll have to choose from.
Anything else is punishable by, you guessed it, death. Yeah.
Well, hey, they streamlined it. You know what I mean?
It's probably more efficient.
Yeah, I would guarantee.
And I guarantee you, too, that the barbers take more pride in their work.
Oh, yeah.
If not pride, then fear.
So, like, what? Like, see, the question, though, is Kim Jong-un the only one that's allowed to have that goofy-ass haircut that he has?
I promise you, bro, he probably is.
Because I've never seen any other North Korean with that haircut before.
No way.
So it makes me think he's the only one that has it.
Does he have too much of a fade or not enough fade?
Not enough fade. Not enough fade. And it's too short. It goes too short to, like, and then sticks out and then, like, slick back.
I like to think that I'm going to use North Korea as one of the tags in this show because we talked about it. Hopefully, through their pirate internet, some people listen to it. Hopefully, Kim Jong Un listens to it. And he can hear me say, "You look like a fat girl that should be in a rap video." Seriously.
Your dad looked like an old woman.
Yeah.
With a pompadour.
Stupid.
Yeah. Go to hell.
You fucking silly bitch. I can't handle it.
I hope your people eat you.
Yeah. I hope that we're alive for the time that HD footage captures them fucking like... Who was the guy? Was it Gaddafi that they got in the street and sodomized him to death?
Yeah.
I would love nothing more than to see... Because everybody knows that Asian porn involves a lot of seeming crying. I want to see him cry while they fist fuck his asshole with a metal pair.
I feel it's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure,
I think it's like only a matter of time. Like, you can only take, like, starvation so long before you're just like, fuck it.
He picked the wrong, orange guy to fuck with. I see him launching these missiles and these acts of defiance. I don't think he's going to kowtow. Trump's probably the one to shoot a fucking drone over there.
Yeah.
Tell China to go fuck themselves.
I believe it.
Have you seen the movie Strange Wilderness?
I don't think so.
I encourage everybody to go to our YouTube page and watch the 52-second clip that I posted.
Pray tell, is it a, what is it?
I'm going to pause this and let him watch the video, as you should do too.
Maybe I have seen Strange Wilderness. Is it comedy?
BRB.
BRB.
So yeah, that's a great video.
Yeah, and we're back. We had to take a quick reprieve so I can watch it. Yeah, I have seen Strange Wilderness. I totally forgot about it. Oh, man.
It's things like that make me sweaty. And happy to be alive.
Well, so I'd say, since there's not much news, kind of went over a little bit, let's get into the topics for the day. You want to do Aaron the Reds first?
Yeah.
This one might go a while.
Red the Impaler.
Okay, so Aaron the Red, one of our listeners, gave us a topic, and I think it's a good one. He said, "What is your top 5 fiction villains and non-fiction villains?"
Yeah.
So we have 2 different lists going on. We have non-fiction villains, and this is living or dead. I mean, fiction, of course, they never really existed in the physical sense. But I was thinking about this. I think you want to do the fiction first?
Certainly.
Yeah, because the non-fiction just might get depressing.
Yeah.
Let's do the happy part first.
Happy. Let's be happy.
I'd have to say, I mean, I don't know what order to put it in. Let's just generate the list and then put them in an order.
Okay.
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Def. Did you ever watch Breaking Bad?
I did.
Walter White.
Walter White. Yeah.
We have a poster of him on our wall. And we have Darth Vader as well.
That's good.
They are two excellent villains.
Surrounded by villains.
I think, what else did I thought about the Joker, but I don't know.
Carnage.
Ooh, Carnage is evil as fuck.
Yeah. Changing his fucking oily body into weapons of instruments of weapon. I don't know how the fuck to say it.
But torturing the shit out of people.
For sure.
Yeah. I said, I thought Magneto was a good choice.
Yeah.
Just because, like, see, here's the thing. Like, when I think of a good villain, I don't necessarily, like, I'm not going to talk about a one-dimensional villain that's just bad. You know what I mean? You got to talk about somebody that has, for the most part, there is one I'm thinking about that is just bad, but he's just so incredibly bad and so powerful that he would just have to be on the list. But I digress. I would say that, like, but in the smaller time villains, I'd say they would have, it requires nuance. Like, you almost have to feel bad for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like Walter White.
Yeah.
Starts out as a normal dude, doing his thing, gets cancer and decides, I'm going to make meth to support my family so that they don't fucking starve to death when I'm dead.
The true villain in that story is the pharmaceutical industry.
You're right.
Boom.
But,
free market capitalist.
But, so, I think, Walter White, Darth Vader, and, did I say another one?
We flirted with Carnage.
Carnage is good. What about the fucking, remember Spawn? What was that fucking clown's name? Oh, God.
I'm gonna Google this shit.
Oh, shit, Pennywise!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
They're supposed to be making a new It movie this year.
Yeah, I saw a picture from it. Okay, so, I think Darth Vader, Walter White, Pennywise the Clown. And this is the one I was talking about before, where I feel like, we said Magneto, but I don't know, Magneto might get bumped.
Right.
But, like, I think I was talking about Magneto because I said, like, you almost want to feel bad for the person because, like, Magneto is just a realist in the X-Men world.
He could be a hero or a villain.
He's basically like, listen, humans are never going to accept us and they're always going to persecute us.
Right.
So our only chance is to fucking dominate them.
Yeah. Because
we have these powers and that's basically nature dictates we should dominate.
Right. Proto-Clown.
Yeah.
From the Tick.
Oh, shit.
That's the one you're talking about?
No, I was talking about from Spawn. You remember Spawn?
Oh, Spawn. Yeah, I don't know why I said the Tick.
I feel like his name was Devastator, but I don't know. I might be wrong. But, okay, so, and another one I feel like should be on the list, and he doesn't really have nuance. He's just straight evil, but he's like a fucking, basically a god.
Just says clown/violator.
Violator, not Devastator.
That's a cute dress. I wonder if they'll have it my size.
So, I think Sauron needs to be on the list.
Oh, yeah. Fucking A, right?
I mean, fuck, man. He's a fucking god.
Yeah.
And all he wants to do is fucking dominate.
That's it.
Like, he doesn't give a shit about anybody. He doesn't give a fuck. Everybody that, like, all the orcs, fucking Saruman, all of them, they're merely tools to complete his mission to fucking control Middle Earth.
That's all he wants.
That's all he fucking wants.
Just give it to him. I'm surprised he didn't win this last presidential election in the United States.
I would have voted for him, to be honest.
For sure. Well, what about the, what are they called in Hellraiser? Those things.
The fucking Cenobites?
Yeah.
See, here's the thing, though. I never saw the Cenobites as necessarily evil. It's like, even they say, like, we're not really, like, some would call us demons, some of us angels.
Yeah.
I like to think of us as travelers.
It's a terrifying movie. It's weird. You watch it and you get sweaty and nervous, but hard on at the same time. Just thinking of all those razor blades and what they might do to you.
Yeah, I mean, they don't, like, I don't know if, like, I got another one. Hans Landa from Inglourious Bastards. Colonel Hans Landa. I think he needs to be on there, just because, like, amongst villains, he's probably one of my favorite villains of all time.
That was the Jew Hunter, right?
Yeah, that was the Jew Hunter.
Yeah. He was terrifying.
It's just because, like, he was so, like, friendly.
Right.
And I think, like, and that's another thing that makes a good villain, is a villain who doesn't realize they're a villain.
Yeah, he was just trying to let people understand the difference between a mouse and a squirrel.
Yeah.
That's all he wanted to do.
That, and, like, and the thing is, in his mind, he justified everything he did. Like, his goal was to make the world a better place in his image. Or, like, at least his Führer's image. So, like, I just think and I think my favorite part with him is the whole time you see him calm, collected, he's never, like, lost his shit. And then he has that scene with that actress, and
yeah,
he's like, does that thing where, put your foot on my leg. And he, like, puts the shoe on her, and then he just commences to fucking strangling the shit out of her and throttling her.
Death.
Yeah. And then you get to see a satisfying ending with him.
I bet you're going to take... I bet you, or what do you say? You're going to...
But you're going to take off that uniform when you leave.
That schnitzel-looking mouth of yours. That's what I thought you'd say. I think that might be your best work yet.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
And I thought about, there's other ones. Like, I thought about Michael Corleone was a good pick from The Godfather.
Yeah.
I love watching the story of a regular person come to evil.
Yeah.
And somehow, like, justify it in their head that whatever they were doing was okay.
It just makes me root for him the entire time.
I think that's the key. If you can make a movie or a TV show about a villain, and at the end have you in tears when they're dying or dead, or whatever plan they had goes afoul.
Yeah.
Then that writer has done their job. That director has done their job. They have done the job. Think about it like this. Okay. Think about, like, Walter White and how you watch his journey from regular nervous, like, quiet little guy to fucking drug kingpin.
Yeah.
And, like, all the way to the end of the show and watch him just fucking go crazy with that machine gun in the trunk and, like, all that shit. That's fucking amazing.
Right.
Now, not to take away from it, but I feel like I wouldn't include him on the list because he kind of falls in that category of, like, one-dimensional villain is, like, Voldemort.
Mm-hmm.
To me, there's no nuance to Voldemort.
Voldemort was kind of a lame.
I would say he's lame. It's just like you can never empathize for Voldemort. Even when J.K. Rowling tried to get you to empathize with Voldemort, it was still like, nah.
Yeah.
Because he was always kind of a douche.
I never had anything for him. Too one-dimensional.
Yeah. I mean, I think we weren't watching Harry Potter for the villains, though. I think that's the thing is something villain-centric or is it hero-centric?
Right. Because
villain-centric stuff is going to try to show that nuance and try to, like, round out a character more.
I always rooted that his uncle would have a heart attack, Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's a fucking cunt.
Yeah, he was a douchebag, too.
See him choke to death on a hot dog. Harry doesn't kill him, but he just watches him die. Instead of helping, he adds him to the list of people.
I would imagine Harry would, if not just watch him, he would slow time down so that he could watch it even slower.
Choke on that hot dog, you prick.
Choke on that sausage, you prick.
That's what you get for being a cunt.
But I mean, like, let's see, okay. I mean, I'm going to let you have your top 5, and I'm going to have my top 5. So, I think number 5, probably Sauron, just because, I mean, he's powerful and evil, but he lacks any ability for me to empathize with him.
Yeah.
Probably number 4 would have to be no, not Michael Corleone. 3 is... Let's see. I don't want to say Darth Vader yet. What else did I say? I said, shit. Okay, number 3 is Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Number 2 is...
This is real life.
It. Pennywise. Yeah. Pennywise the Clown is number 2. And number 1 is Walter White. I think... Oh, wait, shit, no. Number 2 is Hans Landa. Sorry, Pennywise. Number 1 is Walter White.
Yeah.
Best villains of all time, in my opinion.
That's good.
But yeah.
I don't know, this is going to be an abortion. As far as thinking number-wise.
You just looked off 5. We don't need to know. I mean, if you don't want to give us the order.
List of importance for those. Kind of key. I would have to say Pennywise is number 5.
He's good villain.
He is really good. We're not going to list these in importance because I'm probably just going to end up cycling around in the same wheel.
Exactly.
Definitely Pennywise is on the list because fuck Pennywise.
Yeah.
Motherfucker comes out of it. You know how long I was afraid of shower drains?
Oh, yeah.
Because of that fucking movie?
Shower drains and fucking storm drains.
Yeah. I still don't fuck with storm drains.
I'm always afraid, like, if you hear rushing water in one, to, like, look down in it and see, like, you want a balloon?
Now, you know it's going to be in the top 5 when you're drunk at Green Beer Day and you're hammered walking down the street. Every storm drain you cross, you're like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm not really sure of his function, but I'm just thinking of things that terrified me in an impressive, lasting manner. That demon from Insidious.
Ooh, fuck yeah. I think it's because he's kind of mysterious, too. Like, you don't understand why he has a little, like, fucking... I don't even know what to call it. Like, some sort of weird house full of, like, all sorts of trinkets and shit like that. And he's just sitting there sharpening his claws and fucking listening to that fucking Tiny Tim song.
Fuck Tiny Tim.
Like, there's nothing to like, that's the thing is he's mysterious and he's a demon. So there's not much to understand about him.
Yeah. I'm going to delve into your past. Chucky.
Ooh, fuck Chucky.
Let's see. So that's what, 2? Pennywise, Chucky. Say the third one?
Yeah, you said the demon from Insidious.
Yeah, 3. So then Darth Vader, of course, has to be on the list.
Yeah, you boss. Fuck the Emperor.
Yeah, cool. And then trying to delve into things forgotten. I'm gonna go with the hero of all pedophiles, Wes Craven.
Freddy Krueger?
Freddy Krueger.
Okay, yeah. I get that one.
Pedophile savior.
Yeah, come back and kill kids.
It's bad enough that we live in a society where they are allowed to live after convicted. Much less live, but are released shortly after convicted.
Yeah.
And to think that if we actually burned them alive in a fucking furnace, or a house fire rather, that they would just come back to life as a dream-haunting child rapist.
Yeah, see, Wes Craven kind of gave us the blueprint for that. Like, hey, don't kill pedophiles.
Right.
Because they're going to come back and kill your children.
That's all.
Yeah. You've taken away their ability to abuse them sexually.
Right.
So all he has left is to fucking fuck with them in their dreams with his fucking claws.
Instead of using his strange, stumpy, childlike penis, he uses a fucking knife glove.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Word of advice, princess, the first time's a little messy.
Freddy Krueger, that is a good one. I kind of missed out on the slashers just because I feel like there's, like Jason and Michael Myers and stuff like that, just because, like, they're quiet. And, like, in my mind, I feel like in the Michael Myers universe, Dr. Loomis almost is more of a villain than Michael Myers is, just because Dr. Loomis, instead of trying to cure him or trying to help him, just studied him.
Right.
And it made him even more crazy.
That's fine.
I mean, that's my interpretation of that.
I like the new Rob Zombie one where he comes out like full mongoloid retard. He's like 7 feet tall. Looks like he's been doing fucking Deca and testosterone.
Fucking rips people in half and shit.
Yeah.
Rips their fucking jaws out.
If I was ever on that police escort, I would just tender my resignation.
Oh, yeah.
Move
I'd
south.
be like, deuces, you guys...
yeah, you guys have fun with all that.
You guys have fun with that. I don't think this is going to go good.
Nah. Put a bullet in his head.
Yeah.
Not that it would matter.
Not that it would matter.
That was a pretty effective, far-reaching list.
Oh, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed that list. I mean, if you wanna add to the list or think we missed somebody,
that's what the fucking comment section
that's what
is
the comment section for, and message us.
We want you to put it in there. The
And
public domain.
if we feel like we have totally passed over some great villain that we just totally missed over, and it kind of falls into our categories where they kind of require a bit of nuance or just absolutely insidious in nature, then please message us. We'd like to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so now to the other part of the list, the non-fiction villains of history.
Can I list one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Bill Gates.
Okay.
You know, because he is a full-time philanthropist. He makes everything look good. I'm sure a lot of people, when they heard that name, they were like, oh, well, that's off base.
Yeah.
Well, he took part in this latest fucking debacle that happened, I think was it Brazil? Where everybody was freaking out last year about the Zika virus.
Mm-hmm.
The Zika virus broke out in the same area where he released mosquitoes. Genetically modified mosquitoes that were able to deliver vaccines. If you know anything about medicine, uncontrolled amounts of vaccine coming to you through the air, probably not a good idea.
Probably not a good idea.
And then all of a sudden they started having birth defects and all this stuff. He's given speeches at TED conferences about reducing human population. Yeah. I mean, all these things depend on what side of the aisle you're on. They might be good, they might be bad, but I think he deserves a spot in the top 10.
I'd say, yeah, definitely. I'd say he's not like up there. He's not at the bottom, but he needs to be on there.
Yeah, for posterity.
Well, yeah, him, and then I was thinking, in that same zone, this dude is like on our money and shit, but he wasn't a good dude. Was like Andrew Jackson. He was a cocksucker on the legit side. Now he was a hard ass.
Yeah.
Motherfucker had grit. You can't take that away from him.
Nah.
I mean, he's fucking...
How many people did he kill?
Dueled a bunch of times.
And won.
Like, or if he didn't win, he got shot a few times too. Like, but he was a villain straight up. He killed a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
And sent a lot of people to their deaths. And he's on our money.
That's fine.
I mean, it's whatever. It's not whatever, but he's a dick.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Shoo-wee, Papaw.
I mean, I hate saying that about a U.S. president, but you know what?
Whatever. Yeah, freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Might as well use it while we got it.
Might as well. Trying to think of like less, not super bad. I mean, there's been some bad ones. We could go back and be like Julius Caesar.
Yeah,
but that depends on your opinion of Julius Caesar. You know what I mean? Like,
then people probably are just like, I want to hear more of. They don't know about Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
Unless you do know about Julius Caesar, then you should correct me in the comment section.
Yeah.
I will make a
I mean, I know about Julius. I know enough. I know that, like, see, it's a heavy question because, like, he was a dictator.
Right.
But in his mind, he felt, and this goes back to our villains and nuance, he felt that that is what Rome required in order to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you want a true villain in a more insidious sense, look at, like, Caligula.
Yeah.
That dude was a fucking maniac. I mean, he made a horse a senator.
Yeah.
He whored out fucking senators' wives. He fucking drained the fucking treasury. He got killed by his own guards.
Do you think that making an animal a head of something in your cabinet is a sign of a psychopath?
I'd say so.
Because
I'd say at least a megalomaniac.
I don't remember the fucking country, but I just sent you a link, like, right during the time we started doing the podcast. I forget the country, but that country made a fucking dog, like the head of their Air Force.
I'm not surprised.
Somewhere in South America.
I'm not surprised.
No.
But, I mean, so...
That's fine.
I mean, I would put Julius Caesar on... He killed a lot of fucking native French... Like, here's the thing. You gotta understand, people that live in France now, like, their peoples, those people... Their genetic heritage doesn't come from France.
Yeah.
The people that were in France, for the most part, got wiped off the face of the earth. The Gauls.
Mm.
Julius Caesar genocided the Gauls. So, I mean, I'd put him on there for that.
Can I list things that are guaranteed to make people upset?
Go ahead.
Muhammad.
Fuck it. I mean, if in that same sense, you gotta throw, somebody, like, you could throw a Westerner under the bus with that one, too, though.
For sure.
And say, I'm not gonna say one person, but I could say the Catholic Church.
See, I was going to say that, but I remember you said there were people that listened that might be offended.
Yeah, you know what?
I don't think we have a large Muslim audience. We had like 0.1% of our viewership was in Saudi Arabia last month. So
they might get pissed. But, like, I would say you can't pin in on one person in the Catholic Church. And I would never say Christ, because I don't think when Christ wondered about how his vision was and where he was going with what he wanted to do, that it would become this.
Yeah,
you know what
I think if he was to come back and look at what we were doing, he'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I told you some shit that totally contradicts what you're doing.
I freaked out one time, and that was on bankers.
Yeah.
With a whip.
Yeah.
I didn't kill nobody.
Yeah.
You know what else he didn't do? He didn't fuck a child. Like
No.
Muhammad, historical chomo.
Yeah. So, I mean...
I might just draw a picture of him. Wouldn't that be
gonna-
funny to get like an easel, make a Facebook Live video of me drawing Muhammad?
Yeah.
What do you think would happen?
Apparently, we'd get fucking...
Charlie Hebdo?
We'd get our fucking heads cut off or something. But,
Publicity, though.
I mean, I don't know who to throw under the bus for the... It's hard to say the Catholic Church. Let's say the historical Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Let's say the Catholic Church that, like, sent people to fucking the New Americas and basically said, if you can't convert them, kill them.
Right.
I would say they're villains.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up.
For sure.
They were evil motherfuckers. That and they were manipulative as fuck with Europe at the time. So, I'm going to throw the Catholic Church on there. Historical Catholic Church.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
So, and right there with Muhammad.
Yeah.
Because, like...
Well, I mean, they both fuck kids, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Historically.
Historically speaking, they both do.
Institutions. Or heads of institutions.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess we just put basically most of religion on a list of villains of all time.
Yeah.
Because, like, not all religion. Because some religions I don't think have, like, mass amounts of bloodshed haven't been called upon in their name. Like, I don't think Hinduism really has.
Pastafarianism? Definitely not.
No.
See, I know that's supposed to be silly, but that's actually, to some people, that's a real religion.
And a lot of Asian cultures, well, a lot of Asian religions are almost more philosophy than religion. I mean, they do involve, like, afterlife and stuff like that, but they do, like, so you can't really blame their religion on the massacres that have occurred in those places. They weren't done in religion's name. Mm-hmm. They were done for political gain and reason. I'm not going to throw them under the bus on this one.
Right.
But, well, let's see. We
I've
got
a good number one spot. Just
okay.
I'm gonna let that air out there for everybody to think that I've already got it in my mind.
I would say next on the list. Let's see. We've gotten 4 so far, right?
I think so.
Okay. We got 4 so far. Let's see. Number 5. The Knights Templar.
Yeah.
They were not good dudes.
No, they were basically bodyguards for a bank.
Yeah, they were bank bodyguards.
Yeah.
For that sense.
Yeah, I don't know that whole thing about the Merovingian bloodline. I don't know if I believe that. I know that royalty believes that.
Yeah.
But I'm not,
I'm not too keen on that.
So that would be a good thing if that was true, but I doubt it.
How about, like, just encompass, like, we're going on a broad stroke here with the middle, but, like, I'd say, like, the entire slave trade.
Yeah.
From present, because it still happens.
There's more today now than there ever has been.
Yeah. So don't think that it isn't happening anymore.
Right.
But then, I mean, all the way back. So, like, let's just say, like, slavers. Slavers. That's a good word for it. I mean, that's broad, but I mean, like, historically speaking, we're talking about thousands of years of evil people, but in my mind, I've never been able to think in my head, like, okay, I'm going to take this person and I'm going to make them do whatever I want them to do, and I'm not going to pay them anything for it.
No. And
they are going to work for food and shelter.
They're basically cattle that understand words.
And that's the thing. How do you justify it? How do you justify, like, something that feels the same things you feel, and you could say, well, eugenics. What, you know, I mean, like, well, who's the veteran inventor of eugenics? Because I'd put him on that fucking list right away.
Right.
Margaret Sanger? Does she need to be on the list?
I'm sure she does.
Let's put her on the list. Fuck it. Number 4, Margaret fucking Sanger.
Hashtag whore.
I mean, if you don't know anything
Whore
about
Babylon.
her, look her up.
Read about it.
Like, I don't want to get into the modern politics about Margaret Sanger, but let's just put it this way. This woman created an organization.
Wasn't she the one that was quoted as saying blacks are subhuman weeds that should be exterminated?
Yes.
So she generalized an entire race for subjugation.
Yeah, and for eugenics purposes.
Yeah. She deserves to be on the list.
Yeah. I mean, anything involving eugenics, and that goes on both sides now, because we're starting to see a different kind of eugenics come up that I don't really want to get into on the show, because that might cause some people to get hurt. But there's a new... I mean, don't get me wrong. White supremacy eugenics still exists.
Yeah.
There's still people who legitimately believe that shit. But there is other forms of different races supremacy coming up. And I think it just falls right in the same categories of eugenics. And if you don't know what eugenics is, go take a look at that too. Because that shit is basically the reason the Holocaust happened.
Right.
Which I think brings us probably to number 3.
Yeah.
Will we say Hitler?
Yeah.
Hitler.
Follower of an ideal. I think he did it right in the way that he involved nationalism. He was trendy.
Yeah. And people wanted a scapegoat.
He had serious belief, too, which is very important.
He made people believe him.
Right. They said that one of the most hypnotic people in history of effective uses of hypnosis. When he gave his speeches, sometimes he would lose 4 to 5 pounds of body weight.
That's fucking crazy.
That is fucking crazy. So we should start our own Bones and Tubs workout regimen where we just stand up in front of a podium and scream German.
Yeah.
And guarantee you'll lose the weight.
Hell yeah. I'm going to have to try that out.
There it is.
But yeah, so I would say, because like, when I say Hitler, it's the same thing with like Catholic Church, but with Hitler, we can pin it on one person.
Right.
We can say, this is the guy that started it. You know, like, we can't do that with the Catholic Church because I'm not going to point to Christ, and I'm not really going to even go with Peter, his apostle that supposedly was the first pope, or that's what they called him, because I don't think he was really hip on that shit either.
No.
I mean, so we're not going to say that, but I'm going to say Hitler and the Nazis, the Nazi party, and everything involved with fascism at the time. Because, like, and I think, like, a lot today, we get a lot, I mean, even you listeners, you've heard tons and tons of comparisons to, like, Trump to Hitler and all that stuff.
Right.
And maybe it's just because I'm living in history and I don't see the connection.
Yeah.
But, like, the thing is, like, I highly doubt that, like, some fucking crazy fucking shit like Hitler was on is going to happen.
Trump wouldn't have came out and tried to unite a country together by saying that race basically doesn't exist. It's all about our national pride.
Yeah.
You know, trying to come together as a country.
Now, the whole thing about, like, to the state and moving to the state and everything going to the state, that's hints of Nazism. But, see, the thing is we're not talking about, like, he was talking about the leeches of society and like the fact that, like, there were some of us that could never really give our hearts to the state.
Mm.
Like, they're not saying that. They're saying everybody can be patriotic. I would say I think people are just a little bit too. I think they get a little too overexcited.
Well, it's like these people like to just follow bandwagon slogans. They don't think it through. They don't research things.
Like I think a lot of people have gotten a little over dramatic about the whole situation.
Yeah,
but that's just me. Yeah. So okay, we got number 3, Hitler. Now I don't know what your number 1 is, and I don't know if I'm gonna hit. I probably won't hit the nail on the head. I hope I don't, because I was gonna say number 2 should be Stalin.
Nope. Mine's more of a institution.
Okay. I think Stalin is definitely number 2.
Yeah.
And why, you ask yourself, why does Stalin go before Hitler? Stalin goes before Hitler.
Stalin was way worse.
Yeah, because one, Hitler may have been evil as fuck and killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
But he never made those people think that he was on their bandwagon either, though.
Right.
You know, Jews knew right from when, and anybody that didn't connect with Hitler's vision of Germany, they knew that they weren't, like, part of his club.
They knew what the score was.
Now, Stalin would lead you to believe that everyone was part of the motherland and that everybody, like, had their fair share, but he still sent motherfuckers to the fucking labor camps to die.
Right.
Tons.
My favorite story about Stalin was after he was released from prison, and one of his advisors, like, asked him, like, you know, where do we go from here? And he said, we go back to the top.
Yeah. And
he's like, how do you plan to do that? Everybody hates you. And so there was a chicken nearby.
Yeah, I've heard this one.
And he, like, kicked the fuck out of the chicken, almost kicked it to death. And then he, like, leaned down to the chicken with a handful of feed, and the chicken started pecking the feed. He's like, that's how we'll do it.
Exactly. He was an evil motherfucker.
Evil bitch.
Like, and the thing is like, a perfect example of how a good idea started with socialism to get rid of the monarchy, and died with Lenin.
Mm.
Because as soon as Lenin died, his number twos, Trotsky and Stalin, were vying for power. Now Trotsky and Stalin. Now, if Trotsky would have outmaneuvered Stalin and got Stalin out,
yeah,
basically what Stalin did to Trotsky, we might have looked at a whole different scenario. Because I feel like Trotsky was more pure with his vision of how things should go.
Right.
Stalin was just an evil son of a bitch.
Yeah,
he craved power.
He had some fucking shit going on.
And they had their propaganda machine on point.
Yeah.
Like, he had photos re-edited to make, instead of him, like, standing 3 or 4 people back from Lenin, him standing right next to him, and shit like that, like...
That look of admiration.
Yeah. To me, Stalin is definitively number 2, because he made everyone believe he was on their side, and yet still sent people to fucking death.
Right.
But yeah. Alright, so number 1.
Now, you can disagree with me if you want. You know, I'm fully, you know, we need to have discourse. And anybody that's listening to this can look it up. And I would love to be corrected. If you want to look at the institution that has killed the most people since the dawn of man, I'd say the number 1 villain has to be Democide.
Democide.
It's government-sanctioned death. Governments have killed more people than any other cause.
Oh, fuck yeah. So we're just talking about, like, government in general being the greatest villain of all time.
The idea of government in itself has killed far more people than anything else.
I totally agree with you. I can go on to say one more thing about that. Like, I'd say, okay, in its purest forms, back in the day, I feel like it might have been more democratic, but I feel like, here's the thing, like, one thing I feel like has always existed with governments. There's 2 types of justice. There's the justice of the upper class and the justice of the lower class.
Right.
The lower class injustice is so much worse because it's so inhumane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't give a fuck. Like, and then you look at an example of upper class justice. Look at Socrates. Socrates was saying some fly shit that the government didn't like, the republic or the democracy didn't like. So they told him he had to commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
They let him die on his own terms.
Right.
Or recant what he said.
Yeah.
But Socrates, being a boss,
wasn't going to do it.
Wasn't going to do it. But the thing is the lower classes have never been afforded that kind of opportunity.
No way.
Not once. We've always been under the boot heel.
Yeah.
I totally and utterly agree with you. That is a classic number 1. And I feel like it just goes straight in line with our podcast.
Yeah.
The government is the biggest villain of all time. And I'm not talking about our government, all governments.
Yeah. Blanket. Under that umbrella, Democide has to be number 1.
How many have died? How many died under that?
I tried looking it up, man. I couldn't find a solid number.
I mean, do we include war in this?
Oh yeah, because I mean, war is not caused generally by
just a couple of dudes getting in a fist fight together.
They always have to amp up people on both sides to support the fucking cause.
Yeah,
it never happens organically.
No, I totally agree with you on that one. That I feel like is.
I also have another one that I'm not sure where it would fit in on the list, but it's this like thing that I've been mulling around in my head. I was talking to the doctor, not a doctor, Doug Hurdy yesterday.
Yeah.
And about his ails with the college process.
Yeah.
He's taking, he's trying to be a chemical engineer, he said, right?
Biochemical engineer, something, yeah. Let's just say chemical engineer. Sorry, Dr. Hurdy.
Yeah.
Not a doctor.
Not a doctor. But, I'm not sure, like I said, I'm still mulling over in my head, but the entire institution of education, I think, is the largest cause of suffering today that we have. You see, like, the suicide in itself and depression seem to be first world problems.
Yeah.
Like it's a plague of the wealthy.
Yeah.
So you look at like the history of education starting in the schoolhouse. You know, it was an idea based around the fact that you had these kids of varying ages would come together to learn their letters and numbers. The idea was that the older kids would provide role modelship for the younger, and they would also learn empathy while dealing with younger kids. Yeah. While the kids would look up to them, and they would learn at a higher curve. So then when the government founded mandatory public schooling, it was started under the auspice, like they had fucking National Guard go door to door and force children and, you know, keep parents back at gunpoint. Yeah. Because the parents knew that the state forcibly educating their children was going to end badly. So the National Guard had to walk them to school every day for a while until they got used to it.
Well, you know, that goes back to the government.
Yeah, Democide.
Yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing. I think you told me this once, that back in the 19th century, it was said to believe that children only needed about 70 to 80 hours of education.
Right, yeah.
In their entire, like, in everything. To learn everything that they need to learn just to get by.
Right.
That's what they needed. And then everything beyond that was up to them.
They basically planted the seeds in their head of creativity. Yeah. And they had to learn the model of the Trivium method. Yeah. Well, the government said, nah, we don't need that. With the backing of Pavlovian conditioning and wealthy industrialists, they modeled this Pavlovian mandatory education that the industrialists heralded as, like, they said, our public schooling method will make such efficient factory workers that if there is a screw to be turned, that screw will be turned 58 times in 60 seconds. We don't have factories anymore, by and large. So the whole method and model of education is false.
So industrial schooling is...
We're pumping out a generation of kids who've had the creativity and the Trivium method completely removed.
And the thing is, like, the crazy part is the Trivium method was what people used, the upper class used for thousands of years to educate their children.
Right. And you could literally use it to learn any subject at all.
Yeah, you basically, like, if we want to get the Trivium just a little bit, just because I think that's a great...
It's a fucking sexy topic.
When I started, like, studying the Trivium and started trying to apply it to my life, I think it helped me out a lot, especially when learning new things, because, like, the Trivium it's something to be learned, but it's a tool. Right. It's a tool that you're supposed to apply to your method of thinking. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I think that's what we lack is you're not giving people tools anymore. You're just giving them facts. Right. And you're not giving them instructions on how to, like, take in information, absorb it, and then, in your own words, expel it back out again in a proper fashion.
Right. Well, they you know, you look at these kids when they would have benefited the most from being told to keep their creativity, to find their passion, to develop it, and to use the Trivium to understand things in the world and learn what they need to learn for their, you know, air quotes, pursuit of happiness. Yeah. That's all been squashed out. All these kids that daydream or are using their natural, you know, creative forces are being told that they're ADD or ADHD. They're medicated. They're forced back into the Pavlovian conditioning where you have to pay attention for 60 to 90 minutes of one subject, and as soon as that Pavlov bell rings, ding, you have to forget exactly what you were doing, move in a state of chaos to your next subject, and start over. Yeah. And you do that for, you know, however many years. And then you're told toward the end of that whole experiment that you have to go to college. Yeah. Why? Because you have to. So now you've got these people that Dr. Doug Hurdy has to deal with who have no real life experience. They have no way of knowing what they want to do, so they're racking up hundreds of thousands of dollars in student debt for a fucking master's degree in liberal arts with a minor in fucking body paint. You know, that's an actual quote that he gave me for one of these kids. So, you know, he's going to school for something in the engineering field or chemistry field. Yeah. But he has to take this class that's like, it's a religion class. Mm-hmm. But the subject that he's doing right now, he has to do a report on a list of things. I don't remember the list, but it has to do with white guilt. Mm. So it's an Indian religion class, or religions in India, I think. Yeah. And he has to do a report on profiling, how it's used, how it's wrong, basically different discriminations. And he said, like, all these people that have given their reports before him have been given higher marks because they are tying everything into how Trump's an asshole. Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about? How much do you have to pay for this class, I wonder, Dr. Doug Hurdy? If it was out of your pocket, how much money are you paying to learn this? And is it necessary for you to learn this to become an engineer of science?
Apparently.
I get the idea. Liberal education was a great thing because, you know, the root word liberal was the idea that you would liberate yourself through knowledge.
Yeah.
But now it's been completely taken over by, like, left-wing ideologues.
Yeah, that don't, they don't try to, like, there's no more, like, I feel like we've lost the time when, like, educators should remain neutral in all things involving politics. I mean? Like, if you're just giving facts, give them the way they are.
Now it's forced demagoguery.
You know what I mean? You could throw, and it's the thing, though, like, and they love using statistics, right? And statistics could show you anything you want to see.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I'm your dog.
Anytime, and anybody listening, whenever you watch the news and you see statistics get thrown up on the screen, look at what they're showing you, and if it feels like they're trying to skewer something in a certain direction, just know that that's what they want.
They're leading you.
Yeah.
You're being led in everything in society. Everything in society is meant to lead you one way or another.
Like, here's the thing. Like, this is my logic when it comes to, like, okay, do I believe that a gigantic wall is going to stem the tide of immigration? No. And in all reality, I don't give a fuck about people who are in a shitty situation somewhere else coming here and trying to live the American dream. I have no fucking problem with that.
Turn off the welfare magnet.
That's awesome. I mean, like, I think people want to come here and want to fucking thrive because this is the land of opportunity.
Right.
I'm all for that. The problem I have with the border is the stem of fucking drugs that is just pouring across.
Drugs and criminals, yeah.
And it's starting to feel like, at this point, like, at one point I would say the government was negligent, but now it feels like they're almost compliant.
For sure.
With the amount of drugs coming over. Because, like, and this is an issue that hits very close to home for me. Because you and me both know people, and there's been 3 in the last 2 weeks that have died from overdoses.
Right.
Like, this problem, like, it's coming over. It's pouring over our border. And we have to do something to stem the tide.
Well, I mean, if you just look at the history of it on the face, and I might be leading you the same way that CNN would try to lead you, but this is just my thought process. We took over a part of the world that was the leading opium producer, right?
Yeah.
The government at the time, the Al-Qaeda, they had it almost eradicated.
Yeah, the Taliban was fucking wrecking it.
So we go in there and we remove them, and just statistically you can see the rise, the catastrophic rise in the amount of poppy fields.
Not only how much it's becoming, but how cheap it has become.
Also, take a break from the podcast and Google News search any alphabet agency you want. DEA is a great one, CIA is another one, where DEA plane crash, CIA helicopter crash, and you find pounds of fucking heroin in these things. Like, they're flying these things over, and they talked about that in the 80s and the 90s. About, like, Air Force pilots that were flying from Cuban airspace into Florida with just bales of fucking coke and heroin. And, they go and they turn the tide and they say, I was under the auspice of Bill Clinton. We were doing this to raise black market, or black budget funds for some of his stuff. Well, then he kills himself. I mean, these and this goes right back to fucking villain number 1. Democide. These motherfuckers... We know our government has bought drugs, and those drugs have gone onto our streets and killed people, and yet they keep doing it. And we keep seeing people die. And I hate seeing people die. They're perfectly fine with us dying because it involves us giving what little money we have to support a drug addiction that they supply, and they just reallocate the funds to their, $16,000 plate meals. Their black budget funds, their fucking coups in other countries that help their mineral rights, their buddies and their companies. It's just like, man. It just keeps going. We live in an age of infinite information. Anybody can fucking Google anything and get to the bottom of it. Yeah. Right or wrong. I mean, why are we still putting up with this bullshit? Yeah. Well, that's a good question for you out there. Yeah. Well, I think this is going to be the time break in the episode. Yeah. And we're going to have to dip out. It's going to feel like just a second to you. But it's going to be a whole 24-hour cycle. Who knows what'll happen? Who knows? But, yeah, we'll see you on the other side. We really do. And we're back. Alright. So anyways, after our short break, we've had 24 hours. You've had approximately, probably 0 seconds. Right. 0.0. 0.0. So, let's move on to our next question. Now, our darling St. Catherine of College Corner graced us with not just one awesome query, but 3. Query. So we're going to answer her query
all three of them actually in the last half of our segment because I think we can fill some time with these three.
Come on.
They're good questions. On to the first question from St. Catherine of College Quarter. Theories of your past life identities. Crusaders, nobility, geishas? Well, I thought about this question, and I know at least definitively that if it exists, and like I said, on this show we've said it a million times, everything is inside the realm of possibility. So past life experience and living past lives, not outside the realm. That being said, I know without a shadow of a doubt that in a past life, I was a bum.
Yeah?
A homeless vagrant.
Are we talking like train hopper? Or how far?
I don't know if I was a hobo per se. And I'll tell you why I know this. Because when I was in college, sometimes like between, I'd have big like 2.5 hour breaks between classes. I would do what most college students do and go and try to find a place to sit down, look at my phone, maybe read something or take a nap.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the couches were full.
Right.
So you couldn't really, take a good nap. So I eventually got to the point where I didn't give a fuck. And I would go buy a newspaper and they had this like big quad with like benches everywhere.
Yeah.
And I would go out and lay on a bench. And mind you, the benches were clear because it was like usually kind of like when I would go out and do this, it was cold out.
Right.
And I would go out there and read the newspaper, drink my little cup of coffee. And, and then when I was done with the newspaper, I would lay down, use my backpack as a pillow. And believe it or not, newspaper is a surprisingly good windbreaker.
Yeah.
And I would use it. I would put a newspaper blanket on myself and go to sleep with my little cup of coffee empty next to me.
Yeah.
And probably look, for all intents and purposes, like a bum.
Did you ever wake up and somebody put money in your cup?
I wish that would have happened. I really do. I mean, I'm sure I got people looking at me. Because, that was back in my college days. So, I was wearing slippers to school and I really didn't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
So I was wearing, like, sweatpants and slippers. Like, nasty, ratty coats.
It works.
So, I had my student ID on me in case security showed up to try to, move along.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I was a bum in another life because I'm completely comfortable with taking a nap on a park bench.
Yeah.
And, getting up well rested. Surprisingly, park benches are good for your lumbar.
That's good. Keeps you straight spined.
Mm-hmm. Ben, do you have any that you're sure that you had a different life?
I like to think I was Hattie McDaniel.
Oh, shit.
I was just going to read some crazy, ridiculous bio. But I went to a psychic, one of these guys, that tells you he can tell you things about the past, future, present, and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm not real big on psychics. Let me just put that out there.
Yeah.
This cat had a story where he had gone, and I didn't hear this from him. I heard it from somebody else who used his services. But I guess this lady had a work party where all these ladies put together like $20 or whatever.
Yeah.
And this guy comes in and he does his little cold read. Gayer than a $3 bill. Bill, rather.
Yeah.
He's all happy. He comes in, sits down with him. He just looked at you for a second, and then he started talking. Basically, he said that, he got this impression of a movie screen in his mind, and he would see things that would pop up when he honed in on you.
Yeah.
And he did everybody at this party, except for one lady, and she sat down, and she was, looking at him, and he started to get sweaty. And uncomfortable, and he's like, I gotta get up. He walks over and opens the window, starts walking around. He's getting sick, throwing up. So she was like, this is fucking lame. I just wasted $20. And he was like, I'm sorry. He refunded her money and left. And she got shot to death the next day.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So
Holy
anyway,
shit.
Yeah, I used this dude, and he told me that I was some sort of Asian in the past life. Some sort of thing with Asiatic influence.
Yeah.
So, he predicted somebody getting killed. So, if past lives are a thing.
Did they say what kind of, Asian, what you were exactly? She mentions geishas,
No, he said male. It could have been, there might have been, a secret underground thing for male geishas. Gay geishas.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Yeah.
That stuff's existed all around the world for thousands of years, and it's just underground.
Who doesn't like to powder their face and please a bunch of men?
Please a bunch of businessmen.
Right.
A bunch of lords.
Oi, Bukaki! Yeah.
But, well, see, I don't think I was ever a geisha or anything. I'm very self-aware, and I realize that, I've been trying to work on it, but I am not a very charming person. Like, anybody that's friends with me is friends with me because they eventually realize that even though I have a proclivity to weirdness, that I'm actually a pretty decent human being. So mine's a slow burn friendship. Like, I have to build into a good friendship with somebody. I can't just, like, instantly connect, right? So I don't think I was ever a geisha, because geishas are charming and, like, they entertain and stuff like that. I don't think I was any part of that.
Maybe you, like, started your life as on the path to a geisha, and then somebody, like, was like, no, you're a dishwasher.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I feel like if I had past lives, I was probably never a significant human being, just because, I mean, I don't know, maybe I was, but I feel like I've always just been kind of too humble to be, like, some sort of, like some very extrovert kind of person.
Right.
But, like, I mean, I could totally see myself, like, you know, being like a berserker, or like some sort of fucking barbarian warrior at one point in time. But probably getting killed. Like, I wasn't one of the ones that got to live to old age. I probably got shot by a bunch of Roman arrows and died.
I like to think I had a history, like, some sort of, I mean, I don't know if you buy into, like, the whole past life in your current life being able to predict what it was, or how you died, at least with birth scars. Do you have any birth scars?
No. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I got one on the side of my head.
You got bludgeoned with, like, a wine bottle?
Yeah, something. It's just a nice little spot I keep covered up with my sideburns.
I think I got shot in the chest. I had a fucking, like, spot here in the center, solar plexus, and then, like, a crazy birthmark on my
I
back.
don't know, you might have got stabbed through the chest.
Yeah. I like to think maybe it was, what's that called? Harakiri!
Oh, yeah.
Because it would make sense, like, the center entry point, and then
yeah,
wiggle it around.
digging it around a little bit. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like if I probably didn't lead too much of a significant, like, I always see myself as, like, if I was, like, sent back in time and you, like, to the Old West, I would be that, like, dude wearing a fucking 3-piece suit, and I'm, like, a banker or, like, a telegraph operator or something like that, and I'm just the guy that gives people news.
Yeah.
Like, my fucking fingers fidgeting, like, oh my.
Oh, goodness.
Or, like, you know, I'm running a bank and fucking some bank robbers come in. I'm like, oh, just take everything. We don't want to get hurt.
You got one of those visors on?
Yeah.
Small.
And I got the fucking shirt garters and all that shit.
Fucking A.
With the little fucking watch chain across my belly.
It was probably lawless in past life, too. I don't know about the whole Asian thing. I only know because of that guy that predicted somebody's death. But I've always kind of pictured, like, somebody that drank rock gut and robbed trains.
See, and maybe it's like, you think, like, you have aversions to certain things in this life, so maybe you learn something in another life, and you might be onto something there. Because, like, I have an aversion to, like, breaking the law.
Yeah.
As do most people. But I got in trouble when I was younger as a kid, and that was the only time I needed. I didn't need to, like...
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I didn't need to fucking break the law anymore. I was like, I'm good. I'm never going to do it again. And to this day, I still have an aversion to it.
Breaking the law.
So something tells me that if I was a criminal, I was probably a really bad criminal. Like, I wasn't good at my job.
Yeah.
And probably got shot in the process or something like that.
Right.
But, yeah, I totally dig this. I tell you what, though. I think if there was ever a time where I was probably anywhere above, like, merchant class or just a peasant, it was probably, like, I feel a very close connection to Roman times.
Yeah.
In particular to, like, the upper classes and the equestrian class and like, you know, the patriarch, the patricians.
They pretty much exclusively Porky Pig, right?
I mean, all the time.
So,
I mean, it makes sense that
got that going.
Yeah, I'd want to wear a robe now.
Right.
I mean, and plus, I've gone not once but twice for Halloween dressed in a toga.
It just felt right.
Yeah. Let me tell you, it was all natural too. I didn't wear anything under that toga.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I wanted to make it truly authentic.
I'd like to kind of take that topic and then quickly weave it into one of the next questions and then come back.
Okay.
Sort of a Tarantino.
Okay.
But I think that once our dream careers are idealized and we have a lot more free time to experience life and do the things that humans were meant to do, I want to climb a ladder wearing a tactic kilt and no underwear.
And people around, and you just, nobody says anything. Like, you just...
Yeah. Just your neighbors. Like, I'm taking down Christmas lights. Somebody walks out to their car and you hear them drop a glass.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I see you're noticing my kilt. A bit of a windy day.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
It's a nice breeze going up my nethers. But, I totally, like... I mean, I would love to rock a kilt permanently.
Pretty sure, yeah.
I mean,
maybe not now.
The thing is, like, back in
February.
You gotta imagine back in the day, like, I think we moved into this area where we got offended by everything, like, and like not like and wearing a kilt or being in like different garb and accidentally exposing yourself. Nobody like got crazy about that. Right. It was just like it was natural to happen. Yeah, it wasn't intended, so why raise a fuss about it? It's kind of like we always talk about it stink back in the day and it was terrible and like nobody was washed. Well, see, that's true, but nobody mentioned it. Yeah. Like, nobody said to someone else, you fucking stink.
Well, they're probably nose blind.
Yeah. Well, not only nose blind, but it was considered bad manners to mention someone's smell. Yeah. Like, and same thing goes with sweating. Like, they didn't have climate control back then, so sweating was just a natural part of the process. Yeah. So, like, you wouldn't be like, Jesus, you're sweaty. Because that's rude as fuck.
Right. I like to think that if we were both Romans, like, we would push the envelope. Maybe, like, the normal things, like you said, somebody might not kind of point out the fact that your genitals, like, popped out. Yeah. But then, I'm walking around town in the square of things, and somebody just happens to notice that I have, like, a little wreath of baby's breath in my pubes. I've taken, like, some fruit dyes and drawn a little face.
Yeah. Keeping the bad air out, you know what I mean?
Hello.
Yeah.
Good day.
Oh, I could totally see myself being a quack doctor, too.
Oh, for sure.
Back in the day.
Wild West.
Oh, yeah. Even Wild West, doctor. I mean, back, like, through, like, the Middle Ages and shit, too, where, like, you had plague doctors who weren't really doctors. They were just dudes that they hired to go around and poke plague victims.
Those creep-ass fucking masks.
With the masks on and everything. Like, I could see, and the thing is, like, what I tie into the past life thing is that me and you have, in fact, been connected in past lives before.
Most definitely.
Like, I could totally see both of us in, like, plague doctor outfits, walking around, just bullshitting, not even paying attention to the plague victims and, like, poking the shit out of them, like, oh, fuck, he's gonna die soon.
Man, that's gross.
Oh, fuck. Dude, come look at this real quick.
I think we're definitely, our souls are tied in the wheel of Ka, to quote Stephen King's fucking Gunslinger series.
Yeah, and talking, like fucking Roman times, we're just two, like, fucking dudes. And, like, you just imagine being in history, like, we're just sitting around bullshitting. Like, imagine we're two Praetorian guards, right? Yeah. And we're sitting there bullshitting. And we're just, like, talking, not paying attention. And all of a sudden we look over and Caesar's just getting stabbed to death.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
And you just, like, take our garb off and fucking...
I'd run.
Mold into the crowd.
I'd run and say, let's go to Asia.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Let's disappear.
Yeah.
I definitely think, like, 1, I was a bum. 2, I was a nervous banker. 3, if I was a criminal, I was a really, really bad one. Yeah. And, for the rest of my past lives, I was probably something menial, like a fucking potter. Somebody that mends pots. I don't even think I was badass enough to be a blacksmith. Right. I hate getting burned. Which, like I said, the whole aversion thing could weigh into that. I also think that in a past life, I probably got electrocuted. Oh, yeah. Because I have a straight fear of being electrocuted. Like, I've been electrocuted a few times, and it's fucking terrible. It's the worst. I'd rather be burned, or I've been fucking accidentally stabbed before. I'd rather be those things than electrocuted. That fucking hurts.
Yeah. Whatever happened to me ended up me probably drunk, and I fell off of a train into, like, a sage bush that was filled with a wasp nest. I am fucking terrified of all things that fly and sting. I'm 30 years old, and I've never been stung. Ooh. You know why? Because I'm fast.
You're fast and you're good at avoiding it.
I'm really good at running.
I've been stung like twice. Once on the foot and once on the arm. It's not fun. No. It hurts like a motherfucker.
I'm cool.
But,
I'm going to apologize again for this fucking sickness. I think my immune system is much like the Russian government.
It's bad air. There's bad air everywhere right now.
I think they're carpet bombing the Syrian refugees that have taken up housing in my nose, my chest.
Not to get off topic for just a second, but I saw an article yesterday that I thought was interesting where they're just now, like, it was an article about how they mentioned that there's a giant pool of, giant lake of, they call it carbon, underneath the earth, underneath the United States, like, and, Yellowstone is the epicenter. Yeah. And, like, I was thinking in my head, I was like, we've known this for years. Right. It's like, why are they just now, one, 2, why are they calling it carbon? Right. It's fucking lava and shit.
Yeah, eat it, Fandy.
Like, what are you trying to... What kind of political gain are you trying to say by its carbon?
Probably the same group of cunts that blame earthquakes on global warming.
That, and they defeat themselves because they say, like, well, if this were to explode, it would release like 100 trillion tons of fucking CO2 into the atmosphere.
Guess what? It's been happening since the Earth was a thing.
Yeah, and they said to put it in perspective, they said like all the global emissions from like fossil fuels and stuff like that only equate to like, I think they said less than 1 billion tons. So we're talking about 100 trillion tons to 1 billion tons.
Yeah. What about all the other explosive volcanoes that have happened throughout history?
Exactly. Or Mount St. Helens.
Right.
But
I think we would deal with a year or two possibly of winter, and then with the added carbon, we would have like tropical fruits growing farther in the northern hemisphere.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Dude, I totally am cool with growing pineapples in my backyard.
Yeah. Grapes on your fucking fence.
Oh my god. I love pineapple.
So good.
But yeah, I just wanted to take a quick sidebar because I saw that yesterday and I thought it was weird that they were calling it carbon. I'm like, well, yeah, it is carbon, but it's also like, it's lava. We called it, it's magma.
Probably written by a college student who's late to the party.
Oh yeah. It's like we're supposed to be surprised by this shit. Like, so is now every volcano is just chock full of that delicious carbon that's gonna fucking kill us all?
Tell me how it's my fault.
Yeah,
Please.
exactly.
And then at the end, tie it into the patriarchy and Donald Trump.
Yeah. Do all of that.
Weave it together.
Because, I mean, you guys are, I mean, I'll give it to you. You are fairly good at it. The problem is I don't believe in you.
I just wonder if are there any like fair weather friends that kind of just ride the fence all the time and they read this and they're like, I can't believe Trump's allowing this carbon to grow behind the Yellowstones.
Oh, I'm sure somebody is.
Fucking fence riding bitches, man.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I ride the fence all the time, but about certain things.
But not common sense issues.
Not common sense issues. Sometimes, like, you just gotta, I mean, I try to be I don't say ride the fence. I try to be moderate in a lot of things.
Right.
Like, diplomatic. Because I think that's what we need. And the thing is like, you lead by, you're supposed to, like, live a life and lead by example. So I lead by example by being fairly moderate in most things.
Yeah.
And not trying to be too decisive. There are things that I'm like, no, fuck that, that's bad. Or that's stupid. But for the most part, I try to remain fair and moderate.
Right.
Because, as I say, I don't know.
Exactly.
There's so many things I don't know. I'm not an expert in, so I can't.
Not a doctor.
Not a doctor, so can't really say.
If anybody's interested, they should check out the YouTube channel Suspicious Observers. It's a pretty good channel.
Take a look.
I don't know if you've checked it out. I'm sure you have.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's a non-biased cat. He used to be an attorney, I think, in Columbus or Cleveland. And his passion was watching the sun and solar cycles.
Yeah.
And eventually he left law and decided to just travel the country in a fucking bus that was crowdfunded. And he like watches solar cycles. He can predict earthquakes and storms based on solar events.
Well, it's like they were trying to tie that our magnetic field around the Earth have weakened because of global warming. And I just saw an article yesterday from a group of very respectable scientists that said, no. They said the magnetic fields around the Earth vary and shift all the time. They said they showed, like, they took, like, artifacts from back in the day, and they can read, like, they can actually tell how the magnetic fields were working back then based on these artifacts. And they're like, see, this is a time period when they were weak again. This is a time period when they were strong.
Right.
They can tell these things from these artifacts.
Science,
exactly. When they were made based upon their makeup.
Right.
So, shut up.
Kill yourself.
But, okay, so, the next topic from St. Catherine of College Corner. She asks us, what is your dream career? Besides podcasting, obviously. What would be the worst? Well, honestly, dream career is podcasting. And, like, I'm writing, of course. I think, like, just a multimedia beast is my dream. Yeah. Like, that's what I want to do.
I've chalked it down to content creator.
Yeah.
I want to make videos. Maybe when I get enough experience behind my belt, write stuff. Write words in sentences, and then put sentences on pages.
And then put those pages bound together in a readable format.
Some sort of sequential order.
Yeah.
To confer ideas. You know, really, that's like spellcraft, for real. It's actual, It's actual magic. We're spelling out thoughts.
Oh, when I wrote my book, I was in a fugue state. When I'd start writing, it was like everything else in the world, all the volume got turned down, and I was just in this fugue state. And when I went back and started editing, I realized, there was passages I was like, when the fuck did I write this?
Where did this come from?
Where the fuck did this come from?
Did you ever do it, like, under any sort of a chemical inducement?
No.
It was always stone sober?
Stone sober.
So you didn't Stephen King it? You didn't like
No.
Coke binge with whiskey and then wake up and you've got Cujo on the desk?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like,
Where
I don't
did
think
Cujo come from?
I don't think I could do that. Like, okay, I'll admit, one time while editing, I was drunk. And that was fucking terrible. Like, I barely got anything done. And I had to go back and redo it anyways, because it was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But, like I said, it's its own, like, kind of euphoric drug phase when you start doing something like that, where you kind of like, you know, it's like being a E4 or a fucking, not an E4, or like an oracle.
Yeah.
You just go into this like fucking fugue state and you dance naked like you're underwater.
Right.
And then you type.
They always inhaled stuff though, right?
Yeah, that's true. I don't inhale stuff. Just lots of oxygen.
You got some strange like plant matter that you put on coals that turns into a purple smoke and you just fucking... Next thing you know, you're dancing like a filthy sleut.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say like my dream is just to be like you said, a content creator or a creator, like somebody who like I like telling stories, and I like telling not only like trying to tell my truths through falsity. You know what I mean? Like that's what I like doing. Like you tell your truths through lies. Does that make sense?
Through fiction? Or
through fiction, yeah, through fiction. Like you gussy it up, you make it something way more extravagant than it has to be. Yeah. But the problem is people like that. They like, you're telling a story, you want to be able to like give it a nice like full body to it. But
do you think that's why the podcast is enjoying a slow and steady viewership? It's the distraction.
I think so.
Deliciously distracting.
I mean, like we distract, but at the same time we try to like weave our issues into the podcast. You know what I mean? The things that we find important.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like even the existential things that still have importance in your life.
I notice it's a good form of therapy. Like I'm not cutting anymore.
Yeah.
And I haven't done heroin since we started.
I don't self-waterboard anymore. So.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Lay yourself down in the bathtub.
Yeah, lay in the bathtub, put a towel on, and then just hold my head under the faucet.
Yeah.
Have Queenie hold my hands.
Picture her in like an old school leather hood.
All right, Queenie, it's time. But no, podcasting does help. I'll give it that. I mean, and not only that, it's like our viewership slowly is beginning to increase, but at the same time, it's like this is my like time to, get all those thoughts that I'm just thinking and don't want to say. Right. Because I feel like I hate saying this because it's some super snowflake shit, but this is my safe space where I'm allowed to say whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah. Except
I'm not here to like self-soothe. I'm here to fucking expel.
Yeah, I get it.
But worst job, worst career. I mean, I'm going to state the obvious. Mopping up the floors of the peep show?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? Hey, I'll tell you what though. I got it. There's a job that I see these people all the time and I think, God bless them because I would never fucking do this. And it's those people at the tax services that you see on the road wearing Statue of Liberty outfits and Uncle Sam outfits, carrying signs and all sorts of shit. Like, God bless them because I would never do that.
I only like them when they're really into it.
See, that's the thing though. A lot of them really are. Yeah. I've never seen maybe a little less unenthused, but I've never seen one just sitting there like, I hate my life.
There's one up by the Dayton Mall.
Oh, is he all like...
He just fucking hates his life.
Oh, okay.
He stands there and types on his cricket phone every now and then.
But like, God bless the man who's willing to wear a Lady Liberty outfit in the cold weather and shake a sign for taxes. Like, I could never do that, and to me, that would be my worst job. Like, and I hate saying that. I feel bad. These people have jobs, so why the fuck am I, like, hating on them?
Yeah.
But to me, if I was doing that, that's my rock bottom. Because at least if I'm a mopper at a peep show, I can be, like, incognito and, like, behind the scenes, and nobody has to see me.
Yeah.
Like, as far as I'm concerned, people who do that, they're up there all the time. Your shame is on display.
Right.
I mean, they shouldn't be ashamed because they have jobs, but it would be my shame.
I think I would do it only after I was completely free of, like, once I'm completely free of a job, you know, and I've got to do stuff, like, for videos and life experience. I think I'd probably get, like, a healthy offender buzz and go get hired and then just do it until it got boring. So maybe an hour.
I imagine, like, if I ever asked one of them, like, what makes this job easy? I would assume that they would all say, well, certain things, but like, you know, crack,
Heroin.
yeah, booze, you know, that makes it easier.
Yeah.
I bet you it does.
For sure.
Because, like I said, that's my rock bottom. At that point, I'd assume that I would be doing something really harsh to, like, deal with my fucking harsh reality.
You have to.
But,
Man, these Russians, I tell you, they're using some sort of chemical munitions on these Syrian refugees. If anybody wants to take in these refugees, they should drop us a message. I'll come by and sneeze on them.
yeah,
You can have them.
you could have them.
Take them.
But anyway, so, I'm trying to think of other really shitty jobs. Like,
I'm going to self-edit myself. I'm not gonna say anything. I got a really good idea for a shitty job. I can't really talk about it. I'm about to go to it.
okay, go to it.
No, I mean, I'm about to.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, that is a shitty job, but, I wanted to avoid that one.
I understand.
But anyways, I would say anything involving shit can't be a good job. Like, it made me think of something that I said last night. I said that we were watching TV and this commercial come on it was a tourism ad for California, right? And they're all they're having a great time, like hanging off cliffs and surfing and like eating dinners on the beach. And they're like, "Come on down, it's And I'm thinking in my head, somebody needs to do that for Ohio.
Yeah.
I said, except like instead of all these beautiful things, you need to have some guy changing a tire in the pouring rain, or have like have some like greasy looking fucking gas station clerk like, "Come to Ohio, we have all cigarettes."
Yeah. All at state minimum prices. On your way to the gas station or cheap rock bottom price liquor store, you can enjoy on either side a view of a cornfield that is either soybeans, corn, or dirt.
Yeah. Or like have somebody standing in the line at the BMV and they just turn around and like, "Come join us."
You're not allowed to record in here.
Yeah, shit. But yeah, I mean, not to say Ohio's bad. I love Ohio.
I'd like to give a fucking shout out. I don't even know his name. But anybody near Eaton, Ohio or West Alexandria should go to the Shell station on 35 in West Alex right around 8:30 or 9 o'clock at any given night and take a fucking gander at the beautiful human that works there.
Oh my.
He looks like a taller version of Uncle Fester.
Nice.
I don't think he has the ability to grow any hair.
I was saying it's like alopecia.
Right. He drives a pristine Buick that I think his grandma owns. And he always wears a fucking golden Batman shirt with a golden flat bill Batman hat.
Premium.
It's fucking premium.
But then again, I think like that our question about worst career would be like, okay, it's a matter of perspective.
For
like,
sure.
Chase your fucking bliss.
Yeah.
So like, if you want to dig ditches, dig ditches. You want to fucking haul shit, go ahead and haul that shit. If it means like the way I've always looked at it, if it means like you do this so that you can do this, then do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I've always looked at it. Like, if you fucking clean fucking porta potties and haul porta potties, but you do it so that you can fucking make the money to work on your fucking sweet custom car,
Yeah.
then do that. Chase your fucking bliss.
Exactly.
Like Batman dude at that gas station, he's chasing his bliss.
He's getting that money.
He's getting that money. He rocks his he's got a career where he can rock his true gear.
Right.
And he's probably happy. You know, like, I'd love to fucking wear my regular clothes to work.
Yeah. I used to think garbage man would be a shitty job until I met an employee for waste management named, affectionately, Jimmy Breyer.
Oh, yeah.
Just picture the guy from Adam Sandler, Waterboy.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Oh, okay. Yeah, alright.
he's that guy. And he takes way too much happiness and pride in his work. He likes to get on top of the dumpsters as he's loading them up onto the truck, and he like kicks them down with his own body weight.
Nice.
Totally don't have to do that.
No.
And one day he came and he was like, "Hey, I found this at my last trip," and he like opened a cigar box and it was filled with like old Italian money. He was like, "You can have it."
That's cool as
I was like,
well.
"Oh, thanks, man." And we got to talking, and I was like, "It just seems like your job would be kind of shitty, you know?" And he was like, I love my job, you know? I'm already drawing retirement. And I'm working here, and all this money we just go and gamble away. Him and his fucking old wife
Nice.
just probably go to random casinos in Ohio.
You see, I've never met a surly garbage man. They're always been usually very jovial and happy.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
probably some secret in it we're not aware of.
Maybe it's like they tell themselves they're doing a service to us. Because what else would we do if we didn't have garbage men?
They're human opossums.
Yeah.
For real.
That take care of our waste.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I salute you, garbage man.
I just hope the guy that picks mine up today is happy because I've got like 250 pounds of flooring in a metal trash can waiting on him.
Oh, shit.
I barely carried it down there. I can deadlift like a son of a bitch, too. And I'm fucking deadlift walking down my driveway with these 2 flimsy handles, and I'm like, this thing's going to explode everywhere.
Like, I don't think... See, I think it's a mindset, too. I don't think I could be a garbage man just because... Like, if it's just a garbage can and you put it in the machine, it's whatever.
Right.
You know, but I know for a fact, I've set out, like, when I moved last, I set out easily 10 minutes worth of work in front of my garbage can.
Mm-hmm.
To throw shit away.
Yeah.
And, like, if I was a garbage man and saw that, I'd be fucking pissed.
Kick it over and drive away.
Like, I know sometimes they don't even pick that shit up. They're like, fuck you, I'm not taking it.
Right.
Like, and I know my recycling dude's gonna be pissed at me today. Because I set it out this morning, and I did not break down my boxes.
You son of a...
I know, man, but it was cold out.
I'm not mad at you.
But,
Next time they send you a check in the mail to cut your boxes down, you'll do it. But if you're doing it for free, nah.
well, you know, and here's the thing, like, I think it's something that's kind of gone the wayside, but I'm gonna try to bring it back. But my grandparents did it, and, you know, everything. And that's, like, around, like, Christmas time, give them a little cold hard cash.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be much. Same thing with the mailman. Give him a little Merry Christmas. Here's some cash.
Right.
Like, I would totally do that.
I like that. I also like to think, too, when if I ever end up with a house that's outside of the city limits, I'll do what my grandparents do, which is, like, they throw out trash, but it's not frequent.
Yeah.
And they take like, he doesn't garden anymore, my grandpa, because he's, like, 95 and just fucking angry as shit.
Yeah.
But they used to keep their, like, food refuse and, you know, compost it.
Yeah.
But now they just burn it.
Yeah, my grandma burns all of it. She didn't have a garbage man. She used to burn all hers.
Yeah.
Like, that was just the way she did things. Like,
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be burning, like, plastic. And
she would burn everything.
that's fine.
Except, like, you know, she kept all the metals and aluminums and shit like that for recycling.
Scrapping.
Well, yeah, to go sell that shit. But everything else was burnable in her mind.
Yeah.
But no, I salute them. They are people that I can't do their job. Same thing with, like, nurses and shit. I hear horror stories, and it's just like, I can't fucking do this shit. I would throw up. And the last thing a patient needs to see is me go in there and be like,
Yeah. Smelling C. diff.
yeah.
Fucking bad.
Yeah. Nasty shit. I couldn't do it.
No.
That's just me, though. But no. Definitely, I'd still say that tax person wearing Statue of Liberty or Uncle Sam outfit is probably worst job.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Just because I hate people. Well, not all people, but I hate dealing with the public. And I know those people probably deal with a shitload of assholes honking and, like, fucking waving at them and flipping them off and doing all sorts of fly shit to
Move
them.
your truck, dick.
Yeah. I couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
But, okay, so on to the last question. I think this will wrap it up. The Fae. This is from St. Catherine of College Corner, by the way. Third question. Hey, all of you else out there listening, get off your asses and start sending us topics.
If you have any questions with life or
Anything. If you're listening to the show, you know we talk about everything.
I guarantee that they drive at least 30 minutes to work and they have at least 2 questions on the way.
Exactly.
To or from said job.
So, I mean, no, this is not diminishing St. Catherine of College Corner, or Aaron the Red, or anybody else, or Toe Beans, or anybody else that sent us questions. We appreciate them wholly. And just think, you send us questions, we come up with names for you. Come up with sweet, sweet names.
Or allow you to come up with your own name.
Or allow you to come up with your own name, like Toe Beans. Toe Beans came up with her own name.
Yeah.
St. Catherine of Doherty, we created yours. You know that.
Right.
Aaron the Red, we did the same, but I think it's a good name. But anyways, okay, last question. St. Catherine of College Corner. She asked, the Fae, friend, foe, or indifferent? Now, if you don't know what the Fae is, it's another word for fairy folk. And I think elves kind of go up in that too, don't they?
For sure.
Okay, well,
It's the ears.
I'd say friend, not really.
No.
Foe, not. I think indifferent is the best way to put
I
it.
think it depends on their motives.
Yeah, I mean considering, like, I know for at least elves, and I assume fairies live a long time,
Yeah.
or at least live forever, and they don't give a shit about us.
No.
Like, when you're immortal, who gives a fuck about the ones that die?
Right.
Like, they have the same amount of caring for us that we do for like a fucking anthill.
Yeah.
And I have fire blasted anthills with fucking lighter fluid before.
Or bleach them.
Yeah. Last year, I fucking took I was outside grilling, and I saw a fucking big-ass anthill forming.
You said nope.
Took my lighter fluid from my grill and napalmed them.
Fire. Yeah, death from above.
Yeah. And, like, but that's the thing, though. I think I at least wanted to kill them. I don't even think they want anything to do with us.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, they may live forever, but we're still crafty motherfuckers. But yeah. I'd say definitely indifferent on that one. I don't trust them. They're definitely here for their own interests.
Yeah, I would say that we are a means to an end at best.
Don't let Hollywood media slant you and make you think that they give a shit about us.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, in Lord of the Rings and shit like that, they make elves look like, some of them look like heroes and the other ones are just kind of indifferent or whatever.
Kind of assholes, really.
Assholes, but indifference can look like being an asshole. When you're like, I'm not going to do anything about this, you're on your own.
Yeah.
That it is being an asshole, but it is just being indifferent.
Yeah.
But versus like, you know, in one of the stories, in one of the things I wrote, where they are fucking evil and they hate us.
I mean, that could be a faction of them that are like that. Who knows? I don't want to be the one to find out.
Well, it makes me think of the second Hellboy, where like they just try to live underground and be secret and not let humans know about them, and the one's like, no, fuck that. We used to be the fucking rulers of this planet.
Yeah.
Let's do something about it.
Why would they want to take a back seat
That's
after
right.
all those years of supremacy?
Exactly.
I get it.
But whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so indifferent. Thank you, St. Catherine of Doherty. Thank you, Aaron the Red.
We love you both.
We love you both deeply. You gotta understand, like, to the bottom of our heart.
Like a almost strained sort of a West Virginia brother-sister.
Yeah. And, like, you know, and I just wanted to point this out there, because a few of our fans, they like to come up to me in person and give me a topic.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with that. I am human, and I forget. And if you want a topic, you need to send it to us. And let me say something. Be as descriptive as possible. Because sometimes I've been given topics, and it's just like one thing. Just like one, like, 2-word phrase. Like, just talk about it. Like, what do you want me to talk about? Like, a lot of our good questions are always ones where, you know, they give us the topic and then they say what they want to know about said topic or our opinions on said topic, certain aspects. Like, you know, somebody they said, do police shooting.
Yeah.
And I just stared at him blankly and said, what about police shooting? Just talk about police shootings. I don't.
Do you want me to, like, scour the internet for incident reports?
Yeah, like,
just read them?
I don't understand, like...
500 hours, I was driving east on...
That, and, like, I don't like putting our listeners into cages, but some topics are dark, and if you want to take us to that dark place, it's whatever. I mean, we go to that dark place.
I'll go there for you.
We'll go there for you. We don't care, but, just to let you know, we do like things on the lighter side.
Yeah.
Or if it's not, like, if it is dark, it's something that happened a long time ago that we can seriously look at in retrospect and see with clearer eyes than we could now.
Right.
Like, police shooting, that's something that's going on all the time. It's hard to put it in perspective.
I did watch a sweet police use of force last night, though, on
What was
YouTube.
that?
It's a body cam video. I don't know what state it was in, but it was, you know, if I just turned the sound off and I wanted to be a snowflake, I would say it was racist because they were all white cops. Dealing with a 15-year-old African-American.
Yeah.
And basically what happened was this black girl was riding her bike, and I don't know if she, like, caused an accident based on her bike riding or was in an accident. The cops were like, hey, you know, step off your bike. We need to call your parents. You were just in an accident. And she starts freaking the fuck out because she's not supposed to be where she is. So they put her in handcuffs. And that just makes her more upset.
I've seen that video. Now that you're talking about it.
They finally wrestle her. She kicks the cop. Like, she could have got charged with, like, felonious assault and all this other shit. But they didn't charge her, I don't think. But
no.
They go to put her in the back of the car. She kicks one of them in the chest so the body camera quits working. Then they go to the other body camera.
Yeah.
They stick her in the back of the cop car. She won't put her feet in. So they gave her a little dose of that fucking OC spray. Seemed to tune her up pretty quick.
Yeah.
But, you know, on one hand, I don't feel like, you know, I feel that inner rage, like, well, maybe we shouldn't, you know, manhandle these, you know, children or whatever, but listen to the fucking cops, man.
Yeah.
Like, right or wrong, deal with it in court.
Exactly, yeah. Like, that's the whole point.
You're not going to win any altercation on the street with a cop.
No,
As you shouldn't.
No. I mean, I don't, like I said, like, we prefer the topics light, fanciful. You know, I think it taps into our inner children when we get to talk about cool stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, it could be anything. Like I said, you want us to go to dark places. We've gone there before. But let me tell you, like, I don't feel like in my heart of hearts that when we talk about the darkest shit, that we're tapping into we're not hitting the funny bones of our listeners.
Right. That's all we want to do. We want to be a delicious distraction from your
exactly. Like we don't
daily lives.
I mean, if you want to look at police shootings, just go online and you'll find everything you want to know about them.
Right.
Like, and it'll just depress the shit out of you, like it does me. But yeah, so send us those topics. Anything. We've gotten some cool ones before, like just like goofy ones. I don't give a shit. Send them to us. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. But yeah, we'd like to thank you guys for listening to another episode of Bones and Tubs. We'd like to thank Ryan Simpson for letting him use his music in our podcast.
I think I might buy one of his newer CDs and use that.
Yeah.
Coming up in the future.
Go take a look at him. Buy some of his albums. They're amazing.
Vote with your dollars.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, if you feel the need, check out our Patreon page. I'll relink it on the Facebooks.
Yeah, listen, hey, we're not asking for much. We ain't no PBS.
No.
Okay.
If you feel the need to donate, you can. It would really make us happy.
And the thing is like, understand that coming soon, we're going to make it more easy for you guys to listen to the show in many different outlets. So understand that the money you give to us goes to that cause, goes to the notion that we want to get the podcast out there as much as possible. Like right now, we relied solely on word of mouth.
Yeah.
So like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's slowly growing. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah. Share it.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. And like I said, go to our Patreon page. It doesn't have to be much. You could donate $1 to us, but that's $1 to the cause.
Somebody already did.
Yeah.
Thank God for
And,
you.
think in hindsight, the more people donate, the bigger chance that we would be able to give you guys more content, more shows, more videos, all of those things.
I will step away from my current endeavor and I will jump into this full force.
Full force, if you want us to.
For sure.
So you vote, you decide with your money. Check out our Patreon page, Bones and Tubs. Check out our Facebook page, Bones and Tubs. Check out our YouTube channel, Bones and Tubs.
Yeah.
Just go to any of those.
Check us out on Grindr.
Yeah.
Bones and Tubs.
Yeah, Bones and Tubs. But yeah, so check out all those things. Give us some shout outs. Send us some topics. Share our page with your friends. Like, if you think somebody would like our show and you're listening to it right now and you probably have friends that are like-minded, send them our show. They might like it. And in the future, we're going to have our show on multiple different platforms so that, I know people have been having trouble listening to it on the, they want to listen to it on their way to work or when they're driving, and there's been a problem with that because of, having it just on YouTube. But that's going to change very, very, very soon. Yes. Like, sooner than you know. Probably as you're listening to this show right now, it may only be days away.
We do this for you.
We do.
We can't do it without you.
So, check it out. And we thank you for listening. And we hope to hear from you guys. And we'll see you guys next week.
We love you.
We really do.
It begins with a virus, and life ends as we know it. Perfect in every sense. I know I'll never forget it. Though I breathe the toxic air, I won't let it consume me. Burning skin become my face. Oh well, it doesn't concern me. I have no reason to stay. No spirit to guide my way. No blessed thing to lead me astray. today. How it ends, I just can't tell. Though I want so much to know, but I'll be fine forevermore. Wherever I must go, I have no reason to stay. No spirit to guide my way. No blessed thing to lead me astray. I'm free of shackles today. And there's nothing left for you and I to prove. And there's nothing we can say or do. And as the sky fades to black from blue, I'm so happy I just can't believe it's true. It's finally true. I'm sorry for breaking your heart. I regret it all. But now that we're at the end of the road, I have to beseech you.